Greetings, everyone. I am FKeith Slaughter, senior servant of the beloved Community Church of Atlanta. Our ministry began 5 years ago with a few dedicated souls who were dedicated to serving our people and worshiping our God. We are a small church. However, since we began, we have slowly grown from a mere idea into a thriving, busy, and dynamic presence in the Pittsburgh community of Atlanta, Georgia. The coronavirus pandemic indelibly altered the work of our ministry. The food and resources gap between the poor and others has widened right before our eyes. As the world around us changed, we recognized the need to expand our already established food pantry to include a food sharing component for children and adults in our community. We now serve hot meals, sandwiches, snacks, and beverages 3 days a week and provide emergency food pantry access throughout the week. The times required that we expand our capacity to serve, but we had inadequate facilities needed to do the work. To that end, we recently acquired a historic Pittsburgh landmark formerly known as Little Zion Baptist Church. Our plan is to transition our food pantry and resource brokerage center, including a new day shelter component, into the Little Zion Annex of the beloved Community Church. We need room to grow, and I need your help to make it happen. The food pantry will give community members and their families access to nutritious food in a clean and healthy environment. The Resource Brokerage Center will connect persons to information and benefits available to them, while the day shelter will create space for showers and personal care, cell phone recharging stations, and other help for our unsheltered sisters and brothers. So here's the ask. I'm asking you to be mindful and prayerful around your possible role in helping us to take care of some good people who need to feel the experience of human love, care, and compassion in the midst of their struggle. After considering the possibilities, I ask that you would share your best gift with us to help us renovate the building, put on a new roof, replace the damaged flooring, and rebuild the handicap ramp to make it a bright, healthy, secure space for healing and restoration to occur. I believe that this is good ground. Won't you help us by investing in making Dr. King's vision of the beloved community a blessed reality? You can help us by Cash Apping us at $the beloved community. You may also go to my website, drfkeithslaughter.org, and make a PayPal donation. But however you give, make sure you give to this good and worthy cause.
Y'all know what it is.
I can't sit at the seat of the scornful. Run away, run away, run away. Those wolves of sheep clothing.
Come on.
Run away. Take back what you stole from me. Compensate. They keep lying, man, and I can't relate. Run away, run away, run away.
Mr. Slaughter D called me Trap Pastor. I talk slow, but you know I rap faster. Right. Hard rhymes, I'm as serious as cancer. Recognize you ain't a slave, you a master. Came here on the bottom of the bowl. Right. Can't flow, so I had to backstroke. Coming up on the verses that I wrote. Every day I slang hope, not dough. Black excellence, down with the team. Malcolm X's nightmare, Martin Luther's dream. Fight the battle, can you feel what I mean? Like Rakim said, I'm a microphone fiend. Came south on a special invitation. To say a word on the current situation. No delay, no more hesitation. All you fist up, take your preparation. Sucker. Y'all know what it is.
I can't sit in the seat of the scornful. Run away, run away, run away. Those wolves in sheep clothing. Come on, run away. Take back what you stole from me. Compensate. They keep lying, man, and I can't relate. Run away, run away, run away.
Yeah, so you think you can run away from reality? You think you can run away from the problems? You think you can find yourself someplace else to go where there's no God? Hey, man, wherever you go, God is already there waiting on you.
Yeah.
So stop running. And if you gotta run, tie your shoes.
Yeah.
Sucker.
All right. What up, dog? Thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Yeah, you're right. I appreciate those applause. I deserve those applause. I receive those applause. Thank you. Because if you saw what I just did to that chicken wing, you'll know why I am the grand champion. Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it is that you're checking out this intentionally Afrocentric live streaming infotainment variety talk experience known as The Situation with Dr. FKeith Slaughter. Glad to see you one more time on The Situation. What's good, Craig Miggly? What's good with you, SCOTT?
Let's do it.
All right,
honey.
then. You know we start around 11-ish every day. Don't trip. You know we here. All you got to do is get them notifications. If you get them notifications, see, whenever we pop up, your situation will pop off. You feel me? At any rate, welcome to. I think this is the show of the future, man. I really do. I think that this is just the whole future appearing right before your eyes, and you didn't even know it. But I knew it though. It's called The Situation. All right. No doubt. I can't remember what it was I wanted to talk to you about this morning because got a whole bunch of stuff going, man. Just trying to do multiple things simultaneously. One of the things that I am excited about is that there is a mural that is going up on the side of the building that is the Little Zion Annex of the Beloved Community Church. And on that mural will be the picture or likeness of one of our members who recently passed away, community member who people loved and who loved the community. At this juncture, I think it's so important, man, for us to be intentional about rebuilding community, rebuilding relationships that have been weakened by the pandemic, by the social distancing, by the separation that has occurred, and
to reach back and to grab a hold of some of those relationships, the good ones, that need to be re-energized as we move into the next phase of the COVID era. Oh yes, there's an era. We have moved into a new dimension of time, a new expression of reality. And it's all shaded. Now, no matter how many years we go forward from here, it's going to be the shadow of, you could make me sick, or I could make you sick, just being in the same atmosphere with you. We can't even begin to estimate the psychological damage that is coming out of that idea that has been implanted into our consciousness. Black people be believing what they say on TV. We be believing what our politicians say, what the so-called scientists say. We even suspend reality to the point where we forget that scientists have always lied in the name of white supremacy. We act like we forget it, like it never happened, like they wasn't busted, like we don't know. Oh, we forgot. You have to always be mindful of who your enemy is. Even, and I think this is the difficult part, even when there's so much of your enemy already on the inside of you. Yeah, I think we require just some mass therapy. And the place that we receive that is in spaces where we gather. Don't let nobody tell you that the black church is not the designated space for the gathering of black people for the purpose of healing of our trauma and for the purpose of mapping out how we go forward as a community. Don't let nobody tell you that that has changed. But you got to remember, you are the black church. And that is what it is. And you want to know what the deal is? Well, I don't know. I know what my crack research team has been digging all night long. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, sisters and brothers, my crack research team here at Team Situation Squad has been digging all night long for these news stories that I bring to you here and now on this Thursday. 1111, 1111. I didn't even know how holy this is. This is a holy day. 111121. Play that today. You might come out a winner. This is a strange story that I'm going to begin with. It's Kenneth Muhammad of The Guardian gets the byline for the story. The title is A Wealth of Sorrow: Why Nigeria's Abundant Oil Reserves Are Really a Curse. This is some of the most contrived logic that I've ever heard. Let me just share with you. It reads, and this was published a couple of days ago. It says, in Nigeria, oil has been more of a curse than a blessing. Weak institutions of state and poor governance in managing the vast revenues have led the country to fail to realize its full potential in a textbook example of what academics know as the resource curse. This is interesting. Just listen. I'm going to give you a little bit more. It says, first coined by Professor Richard Audie in 1994, the term refers to the inability of nations to use their windfall wealth to improve their population's lot and bolster their economies. The rich natural resources bring corruption and poverty to a nation, rather than positive economic development. And counterintuitively, these countries end up with lower growth and development than those without natural resources. You got to get, so first of all, let's be clear. What are the countries that have natural resources? African nations. What are the countries that don't have natural resources that they're referring to? European nations. So let's just be clear about that, right? So hopefully this begins to make sense to you. So the subject of extensive research, the resource curse, or the paradox of plenty, points to an inverse relationship where wealth brings a detrimental impact. Do you hear what this person is saying? Wealth brings wealth brings a detrimental impact to countries that are rich in natural resources. That's the argument that's being made by this theory that is called the resource curse. The resource curse, or the paradox of plenty. What this scholar expects people to swallow is that this phenomenon known as the paradox of plenty or the resource curse comes as a result of having abundant resources. As a result of the abundant resources, it makes the people more poor, and it makes the government more corrupt because the resources exist. What's the part that they're leaving out of this shit? The part that they're conveniently leaving out is that white people, is that European nations and American nations, colonizing nations, are the ones that corrupt the governments. They're conveniently leaving that out of the damn discourse, out of the conversation. And they're actually expecting people to believe that it's the people or the countries that have natural resources that the Europeans want, that the Americans want, that it's their fault because they got the natural resources. It's their fault because the white folks have created a system that takes advantage of the people, that exploits the natural resources and exploits the people in service to exploitation of the resources. This is one of the, I mean, when I read this, I was like, this is some of the wildest shit I ever seen, man. But this is what economic theory comes out of. This is an economic theory as well as a social theory, as well as a political theory. Where people are rich and abundant in natural resources, they must be exploited, and whites must not be included in the equation, even though they are the source. They're the source of the evil. And that's a damn shame, man, and this brother's name is Kenneth Muhammad. I mean, it's a damn shame that people don't think that all the way through. Or is the reality that if you include the truth in the story, that you know it won't get published? Could that be it? More than likely, that is what it is. In Ghana, man, there's a natural disaster happening there, and no doubt this natural disaster is tied to climate change. Almost 4,000 people were displaced by a tidal surge this past weekend in the Volta region. I've been up and down the coast of Ghana, and I've been to the Volta region, and it's more than 500 houses were destroyed by this tidal wave, this tidal surge, as they're referring to. In the Keita district, 1,557 individuals are displaced, 239 houses affected. In the Alonga district, 1,394 persons displaced, 134 houses affected. In Kitu South, about 1,027 people displaced and 149 houses affected. And some houses were completely destroyed, and at least one school and a cemetery were also destroyed in this tidal surge. And you just got to be able to connect the tidal surge with climate change, and you must be able to connect climate change with the emission of gases, and you must connect the emission of gases with the places that emit the most gases and emit the most pollution, and that's the U.S. and damn China. China in service to the insatiable appetite of the U.S. for their goods. It's all connected. It's all a circle. Aminata Diallo, and I don't know who she is, but she's obviously a soccer player, and she got to fighting with somebody else on the team, and I don't know why that's news, and I don't care, so let's keep going. What else I got? Closer to home. Let me see if I can find that. All right. Nationally. So the people in Flint, Michigan have been awarded $626 million in a settlement. $626 million. And, okay. And these are the people, and of course, you know, Flint, residents of Flint were exposed to lead-contaminated water, poison water. This $600 million is coming from the state of Michigan, which was accused of repeatedly overlooking the devastating risks of switching Flint's water source in 2014 without treating the water to prevent contamination. Unbelievable. Anyway, the settlement was announced in August of 2020 by Attorney General Dana Nessel and Governor Gretchen Whitmer, both Democrats. But Flint managers who were appointed by Rick Snyder, the former governor, and the regulators in his administration allowed the city to use the Flint River from 2014 to 2015 without treating the water to reduce the corrosion. At any rate, the water is poisoned. People have been ill-affected, and so they're going to have to split $626 million, everybody that was affected. Oh, I forgot. It's just a little item. $200 million of the $626 million going to the damn dirty-ass lawyers. So the people are going to be splitting $464 million, not 400 and whatever. You know what I'm talking about. Anyway, it's good, but it's terrible. Have y'all been watching the trial of this lying, slobbering, murdering little cracker by the name of Kyle Rittenhouse, who murdered 2 people and shot another up in Kenosha, Wisconsin? The story is being carried in mainstream media presently. Becky Sullivan of NPR has written the story. And she writes, in dramatic testimony on yesterday, Rittenhouse described a sequence of events that he said left him feeling afraid for his life, starting with being chased by a man who made death threats and reached for his gun, leaving Rittenhouse with no choice but to shoot him. Afterward, he was pursued and attacked by a mob, Rittenhouse said, as he tried to make his way to the police to turn himself in. Now that's the lie that this murdering vigilante cracker boy is riding on.
Fuck you!
What the hell he doing walking around with an AR-15 in the first place? Talk about he going to defend the property of some people that he don't even know. He went out there to incite violence and to kill and to maim and to murder, and he did what he went out there to do. And now white America is inviting this bullshit, inviting us to actually listen to this bullshit story like it has any kind of merit at all. He gonna say whatever he got to say, whatever he was told to say to try to save his own ass. But he's a murderer. And and he was 17 years old when he committed the murder with the AR-15, so at the very least he ought to do life in prison. This is ridiculous. It's just so skewed. It's just, the whole thing is just so skewed toward a higher valuation of white life. Even though the people he murdered were white people, he still is a white murderer. And he murdered them because there was a Black Lives Matter rally that he went to with the AR-15, sisters and brothers. Let's not forget that piece. Anyway, it was just terrible. I looked at some of that.
Lord,
Yeah, I looked at some of that. It was terrible. Oh, man. The CEO of McDonald's is apologizing after a racist text that he sent to the mayor of Chicago was leaked to the public. In this text, as it relates to a couple of children who have been murdered up in Chicago, in Chi-Town City in the last, I guess, months. It was a fatal shooting of a 7-year-old little girl who was in the car with her daddy at the McDonald's. Okay, and some other people were shooting and she got shot and she was murdered. Other little boy, Adam Toledo, 13, you may have heard his story, in a Latino neighborhood on the west side. And so Chris Kempczynski, who is the CEO of McDonald's, thought that he would comment on that and send a comment to the mayor of Chicago. And what he said with his dumb ass, he said, dumb, insensitive, racist cracker. I'm trying to find exactly what is. He said, as it relates to the recent shootings, they were tragic, adding, with both shootings he was talking about, the parents failed those kids. The parents failed those kids, which I know is something you can't say, even harder to fix. So this cracker called, the CEO of McDonald's, text the black, openly gay mayor of Chicago and says the parents failed the children who were murdered in Chicago, these two particular children. The parents failed them. One, the man was sitting at the drive-thru window with his baby in the car. How the hell did he fail his daughter by going to McDonald's? How the hell did Alan Toledo, how did his parents fail him because he was walking down an alley looking at his cell phone and the police thought it was a gun? They say.
Fuck off.
I mean, that's the most insensitive, just heart-wrenchingly racist statement that I've heard today. Anyway, he sent this text to the mayor of Chicago, and of course she couldn't sign off on that. I'm glad she didn't, But it lets you know how people in these kinds of positions think. It's absolutely just, it's a problem. Anyway, finally, let me get to this last story so I can get out of here and talk to my guests. So, I know I got to tell you about the trial of the McMichaels, Greg and Travis McMichael, the father and the son who murdered Ahmaud Arbery down in Brunswick, Georgia. Also their neighbor, Roddy Bryan, who also took part in the murder and filmed it with his cell phone. It just continues to get more and more sad there. Of course, you know, the 12 out of 12 jurors, 11 of them are white, only one black. And they prejudged this young man in their testimony to the police who were doing the investigation immediately in the wake of the murders. It proves it. And what's even more heartbreaking is that Ahmaud Arbery was actually alive when the police showed up. And they let him sit there and die. They didn't attempt to offer to render aid to him. They said because they did not want to put at risk the lives of any police.
What the hell?
Yeah. So, yeah, it's crazy, man. They chased that boy for 5 whole minutes. They chased him down like an animal, y'all. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Anyway, Al Sharpton down there, so yeah, I'm getting tired of Al here. I used to try to like him, but I'm just tired of his ass, you know, just showing up, you know, like a damn Undertaker. Anyway, the story that I reported to you on yesterday about the question that was asked of the candidates for mayor, I just want you to remember to go vote and vote for who you want to vote for. I like both of them candidates. You know, I got some feelings about both of their responses to that question, but I don't have any doubt in my mind that both Felicia Moore and Andre Dickens love black people and would do the best they could for their constituents. So I'm pulling for both of them. Y'all vote for who y'all want to vote for on that. I'm gonna keep saying that too, I guess. And yeah, that's it for today. I got special guests in the studio. I can't wait to chop it up with them. So you stay tuned, and we're gonna kick it. You know what I'm talking about? I already saw, you know, I got Studio Steffanie up in here. I'm gonna be chopping it up with her on the other side of the break. Also, I got a representative of community movement builders in the building. And we're gonna be chopping it up like that right there as well. And I just so happen to have my community movement builders sweat hoodie on today, and I didn't even know somebody from community movement builders was coming today. So the Holy Ghost is in the details, I guess. All right, I'll see y'all on the other side of the break. Let people know, tell people to subscribe, get them notifications, because ain't no telling what time we might come on. So you're going to need to get notifications, all right? So you'll know what time we blast off. And then once we do, let your people know, and let your people know that the wildest, blackest, dopest show that's live streaming each and every day is on the air, live and in living color with your brother. It's a situation. I'm Dr. FKeith Slaughter, and I see you in the moment because we stay open.
We're open.
Yes, we're open.
We are open, and Sandtown Pub is ready to serve you. We're taking precautions, wearing masks, wearing gloves, sanitizing, and practicing social distancing. We've even partnered with local leaders to hand out free masks. So stop by and enjoy our outdoor patio, dine in, call ahead for pickup, get Uber Eats and DoorDash delivery, or order online at www.
Peace family, it's your girl Shelly Set with Sun Goddess Sense, your one-stop natural shop. We are located at 4140 Jonesboro Road, booth 225, inside the Forest Park International Discount Mall in Forest Park, Georgia. Come check us out. You can get your health and beauty items, aromatherapy, skincare, Pan-African apparel, and more. You can reach us at 404-434-7963 or sungoddess_sense on IG or sungoddess.sense on IG or Sun Goddess Sense like page on Facebook. Peace.
Ara uma shema
mache. Eshe imi dodo. Arara o mache 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 mache. Eshe imi dodo.
paying out of pocket.
Whatever you do, don't touch that dial. We'll be right back. Music.
Oh, yeah. It's 110 degrees in the shade. You hear what I'm saying? I'm talking about some serious heat.
What up? What up? What up? What up? We back and we black. I'm Slaughter. It's the situation. Glad to be here, man. So I'm thinking that's some what? That's some Masiki. That's that Masiki scale. I think that's from West Africa. Which one? Okay, it's not West Africa. But he got several joints out and it's dope. You can check out Masiki Scales. He's a friend of the situation. And we bump his sounds, and I want you to go out and pick up his stuff because it's be dope. You know what I'm talking about? All right. A special guest in the studio. I was telling you about that on the other side of the break. This sister is beautiful. And she is one who brings her whole self to the work of empowering people who are struggling to write their first book. She also helps people with a program designed to inspire the people to build the blueprints that are necessary to assist them in positioning and messaging as an author. And this sister is none other than Studio Steffanie. Put your hands together.
Thank you.
Studio Steffanie.
Yes.
Turn Studio Steffanie up, man. Studio Steffanie.
Yes.
What's good, sis? I can't hear you good. What up?
Can you hear me now?
Okay, I hear you better now.
Right.
All right, then. You must got your Verizon on. Right. Yeah, how you doing?
Greetings. Amazing.
Good,
How are
good.
you?
Wonderful.
That's good.
Just looking stunning today. You come in and you command attention. There's a presence that is associated with you, an aura, if you will, that kind of surrounds you when you walk in a room.
Thank you.
When were you aware? When did you become aware that you are who you are?
That's a great question. And first of all, I want to thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak on your platform.
It's my honor, my honor.
Thank you. I knew that I was stepping into myself after I've gone through all the trials and tribulations to bring me to where I am now. Yes.
So if you mean any specific thing in particular, or just a combination of all and all just brought you to a particular place where you said, here I am now. I think that I have learned enough to be able to assist others at this point. This does it right here.
Yeah, it's definitely a plethora of different situations that brought me here. One, I was born and raised in Chicago.
What side?
South side.
Okay, where at?
Okay, we'll say 79th and Stony Island.
Okay, I know exactly where you're at. Okay,
and then
I got the feeling, I got the smell of it.
Okay,
all right.
And then by the time I left, I was on Hyde Park Boulevard, right there by the lake. By the lake.
Yeah.
And
exactly
I was dating someone. After I had gone through one marriage, I was dating someone, and he told me the only way I could leave him was through death. So that kind of triggered me to come down south where my mother's side of the family is.
You gonna have to come to Atlanta to kill me, huh? I ain't just gonna sit up here in Chi-Town City and let you knock me off on the south side.
I did not want my father to be a part of that situation.
That is frightening.
Yeah, because this brother had a lot of power. He was with a very popular organization that's world known, and just being raised by my father, growing up, trying to learn who I am, because my father and mother divorced when I was 3. And he took on my brother that's 3 years younger than I am, and myself. And just growing up in the 60s, because I'm over 50, growing up in the 60s and 70s and 80s, and just trying to figure out who I am, because society is telling me because I'm dark-skinned, I didn't realize the blessing of this melanin.
Yeah. I mean, but when you talk about Chicago, 60s, 70s, 60s and 70s, particularly in 80s,
yes,
that was a beautiful place. The South Side was a beautiful place.
Yes, it was.
I mean, just enchantingly beautiful.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. So you emerged out of that space and to avoid just potential
just negativity. Because I had my first, I have 3 children, or 3 adults now, but my first 2 daughters were by my first husband, and I did not want them to go through anything that, traumatic. I just wanted to, accept what happened and just move on. So I told him at that time that I just wanted to get to know my mother, because she lives down here in Georgia. And, just kept praying. And that's when, to answer your question, that's when I really got in tune with my prayers and really established that real connection with God within, because we were together for 3 years, and the first year was so rosy. I mean, it was nothing that he could do wrong. And then it just started turning into, and I understand this game now, because he was like 8 years older. He's 8 years older than I am. So I'm attracted to intelligent people. So I want to learn. And so he was giving me that, but he had alternative motives. And I didn't know that. And unfortunately,
he was playing the long game.
Yeah. Got my children to love him, and then just flipped. Or I don't know if I didn't see, the warning signs along the way. But I was in school to become a court reporter, because I really wanted to become a lawyer. But because I had children, I did not want to put them through a lot of stress of me trying to go through law school. But I still wanted to be in that environment and make some money. So I was a court reporter or a stenographer. And to make a long story short, while I was in school to go to class, he ended up seeing that a man spoke to me and said hello. And because I looked and spoke back, he came and he took me up Hyde Park Boulevard. We were in a high rise, and he took me, and then he was like, "Sister, I can't believe you, speaking to somebody, a man." And he started pushing me as we were going up the stairs. And then by the time we got on our platform, he pushed me again, and I hit my head on the wall, and I had a big knot on my head. And that day I looked in the mirror and I said, "Steffanie, do you not love yourself?" And, I was frightened. I was a mother, young mother. I didn't know what to do. I know I did not want to bring my father into this. I was trying to protect him. Not that he couldn't handle it. I just didn't want to bring that on.
I mean, if it was my daughter, I would hope that my daughter tries to protect me, because what she knows is that I will kill a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
That's it. That's
right,
exactly,
and that's how she don't let me know what's going on.
That's exactly.
But other people can know, but I can't know, because somehow she has to protect me. You know what I'm saying? Because
she loves you.
Yeah. So I see your approach.
Yeah.
And so you moved and you came.
Yeah, I came here, and just going through those different journeys, and just loving being an entrepreneur, and just testing different things out and just learning about society, to make a long story short.
What kind of entrepreneurial ventures have you dabbled in over the years?
Well, believe it or not, I used to own an auto repair shop with my husband, my second husband, I'll call him. And, but again, I was a court reporter or stenographer, a paralegal, because they thought I was going to have carpal tunnel. So I became a paralegal. I handled immigration, criminal, and personal injury, and divorce by publication. And then I became, I owned a transcription company, and then that's when I started employing other people or hiring other people, independent contractors, because I love helping others. And to fast forward to now, I am a certified master trainer, certified life coach. I have plenty of stories I could share. I am an author, and I am officially a celebrity book coach, and I'm excited about it because this is my latest venture, to be able to help people learn how to write a book. Celebrity or not, we're all celebrities, but we need to leave that legacy.
Yeah, if you can get your story told, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But I think everybody has a brilliance that if it's uncovered and presented properly, so that's what you help people do.
Yes, and just before COVID, I'm also a certified yoga instructor, and I would go into all of the youth detention centers in Georgia. They don't call them jails, they call them youth detention centers. And I would teach them yoga. I would also teach them how to write a book. But I remember distinctly in one situation, I'm preparing, and they're about to sing happy birthday to a 13-year-old girl. And it's just, that just gets to me. And I don't know if it's because of me growing up trying to figure out who am I, but that's just my passion, and I have to follow my passion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the question that human beings must engage like each and every day. It's a constant revisiting of the question of who am I?
Yes.
Right? And how can I be true to whom I have discovered myself to be?
That's right.
Right. And I think that is probably one of the things that deters people from asking the question, who am I? Because there's now a responsibility that goes along with what you discovered.
Yeah. That's right.
That you are, right? Now you got to be true to that.
That's right.
Right. And so I guess it's kind of easier to kind of continue to search. I used to say, and I've stopped saying it here as of late, but I felt like I had, educated myself into a corner, right, to where, because I'm a generalist by nature. I know how to do a whole lot of stuff pretty good, right? You know what I'm saying? I used to say, jack of all trades, master of some. Master of some. Some things I do well, but there's a way in which once you discover those things that you do well, and what is the passion that drives that, it can put you in a small space and there's a whole lot of more space and a lot of more stuff to do that you might be even inclined and qualified and have enough passion to pursue, but because you found, what is called in the academy, your area of expertise, there's like the expectation that you limit yourself to that piece that you've identified. And I would wonder if some folks say, hell, I don't even want to figure it out because I don't want to box myself in. I don't know, man, I be thinking that's that while you're on the toilet working it out. I be thinking through stuff. Let's talk about your book.
Yes.
Image is everything.
Yes.
Image is everything. It's a nice pink book, and it's kind of written for women, even though I found some stuff in it that could be helpful to human beings in general.
Thank you.
Talk about the book.
Okay. Well, since I've been here, I became a member of Apex Museum, and the founder, Dan Moore Sr., ended up becoming my mentor, one of my mentors. And I wrote that book back in 2012. And at that time, I was the project director there. And I was in his office, and we were talking. And that's around the time those housewives and those reality shows started coming on. And I did not really appreciate how they were really showing us just drinking a lot of alcohol, throwing it on each other, calling each other the B word. I'm not comfortable with being called a B. I deserve more than that. And I take offense to society making us feel that that's comfortable for our young girls and young women to look up to.
Yeah. And sadly, that shit worked.
I know.
It worked. We're reaping, and I don't want to sound judgmental, but I know it's going to sound judgmental. But that's how you get, and I'm going to say it, and I'm sorry, that's how you get Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah.
The Housewives in 2012. It's Megan Thee Stallion in 2021. Right. That's how you get it. Right. You know what I mean? And and I'm not, please, y'all, don't hear me saying that that is something wrong with sisters expressing themselves in whatever way they find to be appropriate. If that's how you want to express yourself, cool, I'm with it. And hell, don't get me wrong, but can I be honest?
Yes, you can.
I'm a dude. I'm a regular dude. I like porn and all kind of shit. But I always feel, for some reason, and I don't know why, I always feel embarrassed when I see Megan Thee Stallion with almost her whole ass out. I don't know, I get embarrassed, and I want to, and I'm a no good, dirty, grimy dude. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're not.
I like it. Not. I like looking at all stuff. I just don't. For some reason, I don't like seeing her as a black woman.
Yes.
Expose so much of herself when and I don't know why. And I don't know why I feel uncomfortable.
She has much more to offer than just her body parts.
It appears. I mean, I saw a picture of her the other day. Yeah, because I be looking, and she had on. She took her graduation pictures, and she was like, she graduated from Texas Southern, but she was like, but let me show y'all how much of my ass you can kiss, and she took her graduation picture with her stole on. But I think she had on either a bikini or a one piece, and I was like, sis, you dope, you know what I mean? But it's like we're in an age where there's a difference, I think that's being blurred between branding and self-exploitation.
Right.
I think those are two separate things, but I think people find themselves blurring the two and end up, overexposing.
Right, and I think it's distractions. These things keep us distracted from what's really going on.
Right, right. I was thinking about that. I saw, how people be putting out the memes on the Facebook. You do the Facebook? Yeah, because we do Facebook. So it was a thing that showed, it was like the last 4 billionaires, the newest 4 black billionaires.
Okay.
All had no prior experience, no college degree,
right, that's all.
And something else. And I was like, that is true. But they all made their money from entertaining white people. And we ain't talking about that. We ain't talking about that. They all found a way to maintain the approval of black people while pleasing white people. And that's the, that was the
missing link right there.
That's the thing. How can I make my enemy love me while I'm true to my people. Damn, yeah. And it's hard. That's a tough one.
Yeah, because they usually make the man put on a dress, you know.
Yeah, usually, yeah, and they couldn't get Jay-Z to put on no dress.
How about that?
Yet. Nah, I'm gonna say this. He just sent Beyonce out there naked. Anyway, that's enough of that. Talk about image is everything.
Image is everything. What does your image say about you? It's a self-help workbook. I wrote that back in 2012, and at that time I was about to give a keynote speech to a middle school. And also what I've learned is when you're writing a book, you want to write on the average of a 7th grade level for the average person's reading level.
Of course.
So I created this book as a twofold. So for the young ladies, it's a way to avoid, you know, stumbling and messing up your future for your future king. And for the women that are older, that have gone through trials and tribulations, it's a way for them to be able to checkpoint what's going on and what they need to improve, if anything. But I also make it to where you figure out what it is that you like to do naturally, what your calling is. That way it doesn't seem like it's work.
Yeah.
And it's about enjoying the journey, not necessarily that destination. You got to enjoy the journey.
Are you enjoying the journey?
Yes, I am.
That's a beautiful thing. I'm glad. I think this can be helpful. How can people get a hold of Studio Steffanie?
It's on my website. My name is spelled Studio Steffanie, and that's StudiosTeffanie. StudioSteffanie.com or Amazon. It's on my social media.
Okay. Now, before we go, you got to give me how you got to tell the story of how you became Studio Steffanie.
At that time, I was working for a commissioner. I was his personal assistant. And every commissioner receives 2 personal assistants. And I came in as the second assistant. And the assistant ahead of me, she did not want anybody else to be there.
Right.
Little did I know. So then she kept trying to find ways to just mess with me, to make me want to leave. And I was holding a conversation with someone, my significant other at that time, and he said, figure out what she doesn't like to do, and then just blow that up. So I realized that she didn't like children. So then I started connecting with a lot of celebrities here in Georgia and with all the schools. Of course, this was pre-COVID. So I had T.I., I don't know if you recall when he had to do the 1,000 hours customer, not customer, but
community service.
Yes, community service. That was me. Hey, T.I. I've worked with a lot of Tyler Perry's people, and I would just take them to the schools, any kind of celebrity that wanted to do some community service, and I would connect them with the schools. Okay. And then at that time, I had another mentor that is an international fashion guru, and he and I were talking, and I was explaining to him how I was ready to go because, you know, I was starting to really blow up in the entertainment world. And I was like, well, what's my name gonna be? And he was the one because he knew me because I wrote a book for him. His book, he was like, you know, Studio Steffanie, that's what comes to me, you know, and I crown you Studio Steffanie. And I was like, okay. And I just kept it ever since. When I tried to get away from it, too many people just still call me Studio Steffanie.
So it's my pleasure to meet you, Studio Steffanie.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, sisters and brothers, please put your hands together for my dear sister, Studio Steffanie.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, y'all, when we come back, I got my dear brother, representative of community movement builders. You see me representing, that's how I get down. You know what I'm talking about? And I see you on the other side of the break. Studio Steffanie, good to meet you, sis.
Good to meet you.
All right, I'll be black in a minute.
We're open.
Yes, we're open. We are open, and Sandtown Pub is ready to serve you. We're taking precautions, wearing masks, wearing gloves, sanitizing and practicing social distancing. We've even partnered with local leaders to hand out free masks. So stop by and enjoy our outdoor patio, dine in, call ahead for pickup, get Uber Eats and DoorDash delivery, or order online at www.sandtownpub.com.
Peace, family. It's your girl, Shelly Set with Sun Goddess Sense, your one-stop natural shop. We are located at 4140 Jonesboro Road, booth 225, inside the Forest Park International Discount Mall in Forest Park, Georgia. Come check us out. You can get your health and beauty items, aromatherapy, skincare, Pan-African apparel, and more. You can reach us at 404-434-7963 or sungoddess_sense on IG, or sungoddess.sense on IG, or Sun Goddess Sense like page on Facebook. Peace.
When I got down in the hole, wasn't nobody but me. I went down in the hole to see what I could see. When I got down in the hole, wasn't nobody but me. Down in the hole. Down in the hole. Down in the hole. Down in the hole. I went down in that hole. Down so deep, I lost my soul. I had to find my way out. It was dark and cold. Nobody could hear me shout. I'm down in the hole. I'm down in the hole. Oh, oh. I was down in the hole. Down in the hole. Oh, oh. I went down in the hole to see what I could see. When I got down in the hole, wasn't nobody but me. Oh, I went down in the hole to see what I could see. But when I got down in the hole, wasn't nobody but me. I'm down in the hole. Whoa. I'm down in the hole. Whoa. I was down in the hole. Down in the hole. I went down. I went down. I went down, down, down. I got down in the hole. Wasn't nobody but me. I went down. I went down. I went down. I went down, down, down. I got down in the hole. Wasn't nobody but me. I'm down in the hole.
Yeah.
I was.
Oh, yeah. My. Yeah. I went down. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What's up, y'all? We back and we black. Situation is going down. Slaughter. Boy, beneath me the sounds of John Black. Down in the hole, that's my situation. Man, I just fell down. Gil, I just fell down in the street out on Ira Street, right on the corner of Ira and Roy. I fell out, man. I had run up the hill, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm finna take this damn hill. And I ran up the hill and I got up to the top and I was like, and I had to make that corner. And it was like, I feel like I got enough wind to pick my left leg up, cause that's my bad one, you know. And I went to make that corner, man, and that shoe went, it clicked over on me, and I went down. I went down. And I just laid there because I was like, I ain't moving too fast because I don't know what's broke. I don't know if anything messed up. And I just did an inventory. Starting wiggling my toes, twisting my, wiggling my ankles, legs, up to my thighs and my hips. I could feel everything. I was like, okay, I ain't. And then, and I remember when I fell, I intentionally went and rolled over so I wouldn't hit my wrist or my fingers, my hand. I fell on my back, shoulder back, like a wrestler, like a real wrestler should. You know what I'm saying? I got some Jerry the King Lawler in me, man. Anyway, some Norvell Austin. Y'all don't know nothing about it. Anyway, some Coco Ware. Coco Beware. Stop playing. In the studio with me is a member of Community Movement Builders, which is an organization of which I am proud to be a part as well. And he is the chief farm and food stability officer of Community Movement Builders. Ladies and gentlemen, sisters and brothers, put your hands together for Farmer Ace. Farmer Ace. Farmer Ace, ladies and gentlemen. Farmer Ace. Also known as Ace the Farmer. I did that role, man. I didn't mess up nothing, man. I was like, yeah, you gotta, yeah, man. I did that role, man. It was beautiful, boy. It was like, I was still on the football field or something. Anyway, man, what's going on with you, man? How you doing, brother?
Just black and proud, blessed and highly flavored.
Yeah, all of that. Yes. You said flavored, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's hell yeah, melanated. Yeah, feeling great. So
yeah, that's right.
You look to me to be I'll just say probably in your early 30s.
That's a great compliment.
Also, I'm wrong about that.
That's a great compliment.
Okay. All right. Well, cool. I'll give you that. You might be a little bit younger than that.
I am older than that.
Okay.
But I'm not.
How old are you, Farmer Ace? I'm just gonna ask you.
I was born in '74.
Okay, so you kind of old.
Yeah.
Kind of old, shit. Because I was born in '62.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm old enough to be your big brother, but that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How did you get into farming?
That's
How did you become Farmer Ace?
So a little bit about that you mentioned about my age, because Black Don't Crack, looking so young. My mother has always, had us on the food pyramid diet. So
okay.
When I was growing up, first of all, it started with my grandfather. My grandfather was a sharecropper.
Okay.
He served in the Korean War.
What state was he in?
My grandfather originally from Mississippi.
Mississippi, yeah.
The Kentucky and then Kansas. Through the Navy. After he served, he went to Fort Scott, which is in Kansas.
Oh, okay. I thought you was gonna say Leavenworth, but it'd be like that.
Yeah. He met my grandmother. Choctaw, Kickapoo. They moved from Oklahoma to Kansas and then started a family. He couldn't get a job as a foreman, couldn't as an electrician. He also did a few other things, and so he naturally, having 11 children, had to feed those children. So, of course, back then, just having a garden was just something that we always did.
Right.
And so being out, just spending a lot of time with my grandfather, I was always out in the garden with him or out in the flower bed with my grandmother. And so naturally, taking it back to my mother, just not letting us really have anything that wasn't natural. So things like even being on a government state assistance, we still bought things that were not processed. My mother would always cook meals for us using dried beans, dried goods, rice, what have you. And so we were always following the pyramid, following the latest trend, don't eat white bread, wheat bread is okay. Don't eat egg yolks. You can eat egg yolks. Don't eat eggs at all. So following the trends of that diet or what have you, my mother was really, I think, from watching CBN and the 700 Club, a lot of Pat Robertson back then. I remember would have a lot of conspiracy theorists, and I think just watching him, she just really maintained, sort of try to keep us on a healthy diet. Once I got older and started decolonizing my diet, my spirituality, I realized that growing food was something that I wanted to do, not only for myself, but to teach folks how to do that and to reclaim what we basically taught this nation how to do.
Interesting. I mean, you packed a whole lot into those last couple of statements. The first piece that jumped out was decolonize to live instead of living to eat, to coin a term from the great Honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yes, sir.
And you said another piece toward the end. So make the connection between diet and spirituality.
Oh, wow. Well, a lot of people don't realize that sticking your hand in the soil is one of the most. It's the quickest way to. A lot of people talk about grounding, standing on the ground barefoot, but you can also stick your hands in the soil and absorb those same nutrients and those minerals. Growing food keeps us not only connected to the soil, but it keeps us connected to our ancestors, because our ancestors are in the soil. That's where we came from. And we can heal ourselves, we can heal our ancestors through sticking our hands in the dirt. So I am a practicer of hoodoo, plant medicine. I believe in talking to plants and talking to nature, being in one with nature. And so for me, that is a spiritual aspect. A lot of folks don't really understand that spirituality and religion are different in the aspect that religion is sort of rules defined by a governing body, what have you.
Right. Well, spirituality has to do with a sense of morality, a sense of ethic, a sense of groundedness in the reality of the divine within oneself and each other.
Yes.
Yeah, and religion having to do with rules and dogma and doctrine.
Yes.
That supposedly support those feelings, but generally don't.
Yes.
Yeah, it generally becomes a business within itself, a whole entity within itself, and leaves the spirituality piece somewhere else. And so so the connection between spirituality and I said diet, but really what you spoke to was farming. You spoke to, just I know what you said. I know what the other piece that you said that we taught this nation how to do.
Yes.
Right. I think that many people are not clear on just how the impact of the kidnapped African, how we impacted how America took its shape, because many of the people were agriculturalists. I guess I'm gonna tell you, I got a pet peeve when everybody says, when people be saying, yeah, everybody was kings and queens in Africa. That's not true.
It isn't true.
Yeah, if everybody was a king and queen, who would have been growing the damn food?
Exactly. Who
would have been taking care of the animals? Who would have been, building? No, kings and queens don't do shit but sit on their ass, right? So everybody can't be a king and queen. Right. Let's just get clear about that. I hate when people say that, but you can't say it because it was on the Budweiser picture, and if it was on the Budweiser calendar, it had to be real. Yeah, it had to be real history.
So that's why I refer to myself as God, because we can all be gods of our own earth and our creation.
Because God is all and in all.
Exactly.
If people could grasp that,
right?
But that understanding is not going to be widely disseminated, because what that does is help people to locate divinity within themselves.
Exactly.
And then that shit's dangerous, because you really start valuing yourself.
Yes.
And then the whole system falls down. The whole idea of hierarchy just crumbles, and nothing in this system works without us, without people willingly allowing others to be in control of them.
Well, that's part of the system, how it's designed.
Yeah.
Again, for me, growing food is the most pro-black thing I can do.
Oh, it's
for myself.
revolutionary. It's a revolutionary act to grow one's own food. It makes a lie out of the system.
Right.
You know, and it causes, what it does, you know, particularly for children, it causes us to display for children the lies that they're being told about food comes from the refrigerator, or food comes from the grocery store.
Yes.
No, food come out of the ground.
Right.
And if you want to take control of your life, first of all, you need some land so you can grow you some food.
Well, another reason I do what I do is because we've not only become disconnected from the land, but we've come disconnected from each other. So one piece I want to say about hoodoo is a lot of things are not learned, a lot of things are remembered.
So let me ask you this: what distinction do you make between hoodoo, voodoo, and voodoo?
So voodoo is more spiritual based, where you usually have to be initiated to practice. It usually involves a lot of different rituals that are sort of closely related to voodoo and voodoo. Hoodoo was which I will speak on because that's what I know, and I don't want to confuse anyone. So hoodoo for me is the practicing of plant medicine.
You're a root doctor.
Correct. I do make tinctures. I practice plant medicine I forage for medicine. I try to stay away from Western medicine because they're not here to heal us. They're here to build us.
Yeah.
And so in that regards, just staying close to plant medicine and connecting to my indigenous roots. And that way, I've just learned, especially just in the past more or less 5 or 6 years being connected to other Black growers and farmers, it has shown me that we have to return to doing that so that we can supply ourselves with the medicines. Like I was studying Dr. Sebi before Dr. Sebi became mainstream,
right.
In addition to a lot of other health gurus or practitioners.
One thing I just heard you saying is, beneath what you were saying or wrapped up in what you were saying, is this whole idea of one being able, you can control your destiny to a larger extent if you're growing your own food. One of the things that we hear, about, like the number one news story now is, and it ought to be, inflation, right? Mm-hmm. Inflation, damn near 7%. All right, the largest growth in inflation since 1990.
Yes.
I'm talking about we in a damn crisis and ain't nobody screaming.
Right.
This is a crisis that's going on, and no one is saying because the media is in cahoots with the Biden dynasty, and nobody wants to negatively speak of him because we're coming out of the Trump era, and nobody wants, and they act like, well, you only got a choice, either Trump or Biden, as if nobody else exists in the world who can provide leadership for this country. But that's a whole nother thing. But the whole idea of being able to grow one's food, what that does is make null the argument for inflation, which is supply chain issues. Yes. You can say fuck the supply chain when you growing your food in your backyard, right? Or when you're in a co-op and y'all got land, and you growing your food and you sharing and you bartering with each other. You can the supply chain ceases to be a damn issue.
Right. I would like to say that a lot of folks talk about building intergenerational wealth. And I don't want to discourage folks by sound like a negative, or I am an Afro-pessimist. I'm pragmatic about a lot of things. I just look at things at how they are. So a lot of people seem to think that that's me being negative.
Well, this ain't the kind. This ain't the kind of space. I believe in critique. I believe in heavy, strong, and long critique.
So intergenerational wealth, the wealth that was built on this country, was only established by having a bunch of Black bodies to exploit.
Yeah.
So unless
they steadily flipping that money.
Correct.
They ain't create no new nothing.
Correct.
They steadily flipping that money that came from our enslavement.
Right.
People need to be clear about that.
So unless we have people who we want to exploit ourselves and build some sort of infrastructure where we can exploit their labor, and that's extractive.
And we're not going to do that.
Right.
We're not. Let's just be clear.
Right.
And if we did, I would be very ashamed to be who we are.
So, but however, we can create an economy that that does regenerate itself and that does value our labor, our time, our energy into what we do, as well as heal ourselves. Again, growing food. A lot of people sort of look over the fact that Black Wall Street thrived because of farmers. Whether you were the tailor, whether you were the butcher, whether you were the florist, whether you were the funeral home, you were the wedding planner, you were getting your flowers, you were getting your food, you were getting anything that you were planning for that event or whatever was going on.
Black people tend to forget that farmers are entrepreneurs.
Correct.
Yeah.
So
farming is a Black business.
Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of what I do is just try to help folks reconnect to that, and again, just tying it back to hoodoo is just a sort of a spiritual walk for me. The farm I manage right now, we manage the farm as a ministry, not only to so that we can help people heal, but using their laws and their tax codes against them, so that we're technically a business, but we're also providing a ministry. It's non-for-profit. When folks come there to get their nutrition, they get healing. We actually have in the works a doctor who's an actual licensed physician who's prescribing food as medicine for folks when they come, when they have their ailments or whatnot. And so it's more or less just removing ourselves from the Western diet and going back to traditional African spirituality and indigenous medicine practices.
Yeah. Yeah, and I imagine all that, it's a part of just reestablishing vibrations that are appropriate for life.
Yes.
In the midst of a death culture.
Yes.
Because we just so happen to live in a death culture that thrives off of it's run off of, it's fueled by death, but even more than death, suffering.
Yes.
It's fueled by suffering, and so much money is made
by design
off of people's pain. Yeah, and when that's the kind of society you live in, then that's the kind of shit you get. Well, look, why don't you come back through and check on us in a couple of months, man, and we continue the conversation, man. Because I'm gonna be honest, man, when I came in, you came in, and I was like, damn, I see dude jeans and shit, and he's like, what's this nigga doing? What is he up to? And but I saw the community movement builders sweatshirt, so I was like, oh well, hell, we kin people, we down. So so I need to know this dude's story, and it's a beautiful thing, man. From the dirt under your fingernails, man, to really, brother, to the mud on your boots, it all reflects a sense of authenticity, and you coming from a place where you about seeing about our people. You know what you do. You know your lane. You work in it, and you work in it well.
I try.
And so it's a beautiful thing. I'm glad to meet you.
I show you.
Ladies and gentlemen, sisters and brothers, Farmer Ace.
Peace and love, y'all.
Stop playing around. This the dopest show in the universe. I ain't lying, man. Where else you gonna get Farmer Ace? I'm talking about Studio Steffanie in 1 2-hour period. Ain't nowhere else in the hell in the damn world you can get that. And me too. My God. Y'all done hit the damn grand prize today, man. Look, that's gonna do it for me for the week. We end our week on Thursday because white people end theirs on Thursday. Why should we work an extra day? Yeah. They invented a 3-day weekend by going home at 12 o'clock on Friday. And y'all, and Negroes be looking in the office and be like, why are there only black people here? Right? Like, you didn't get the memo. All right, man, I'll check y'all out next week, next Monday, if the Lord said the same thing. I look forward to being here and making it happen. Okay, where Rosa Perez at, man? That's all I want to see. You gotta look at the screen. Y'all know what it is. And you're gonna see Rosa Perez come up in a minute.
I can't sit at the seat of the scornful.
She be breaking it
Run
down.
away, run away, run away.
This is how I get out of here. Peace to peace.
Come on, run away.
To the Archbishop and the Holy Family, to the beloved community I love so well.
Compensate.
To my video engineer.
I can't relate. Run away, run away, run away.
This slaughter you call me trap pastor. I talk slow, but you know I rap fast.
Right.
Hard rhymes, I'm as serious as cancer. Recognize you ain't a slave, you a master. Came here on the bottom of the boat. Came flow, so I had to backstroke. Coming up on the business that I rode. Every day I slang hope, not dough. Crack research down with the team. Not to mention nightmare, my sister's scream. Fight the power, can you feel what I mean? Like Rock Kim said, I'm a microphone pain. Came south on a special invitation. Say a word on the current situation. Don't lay no more hesitation. All you feel, take it liberation. Sucker.
None other than MCOTT, Big Night Love, Grand Imperial Slice My Supreme. And you, all I want you to do is love me, and I'm gonna love you black.
Take back what you stole from me.
Peace to the people, power to the people, and roof to the bros.
Run away.
Yeah, so you think you can run away from reality? You think you can run away from the problems? You think you can find yourself someplace else to go where there's no God? Hey man, wherever you go, God is always
Almighty. Me not like them hypocrites, me not like them parasites. Them scheme by day, them plot by night, striving on the plight of the poor and the sufferers. Oh, Jah know them are backstabbers. Jah know them are bloodsuckers. I can't take them vampires, 'cause I'm a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter. I'm on fighting for what is right. No, not give up the fight. Fighting for truth and rights. Up full in a Jaja side. Fight, we have to fight, we have to fight. Fight, we have to fight with all we might. Fight, we have to fight, we have to fight. Fight, we keep out all them parasites. 'Cause I'm a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter. Deceptive beast, always scheming and deceiving, wheeling, dealing and misleading, stealing and concealing, playing with the people's feeling. Do they know the most I watching them? Them better know I'm man watching them. 'Cause I'm a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter. 'Cause I'm a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter. I am a free up fighter. Let everything that liveth give thanks and praise unto the Most High. Run the track. The blood
offline the substance of the beast. They have been shedding the blood of my people. They are sucking the blood of my people. Oh, it's the nature of the beast. Nature of the beast. Shedding the blood of my people. Sucking the blood of my people. Shedding the blood of my people. Sucking the blood of my people. The blood. Blood of my people. The blood. The blood. Blood of my people. The blood. No more. They devise all kinds of weapons, then using them to kill my people. Some are famous, dangerous, and deadliest weapons. RCBW, chemical and biological weapons, like hate and Ebola, weapons of genocide against my people. They're instigating strife and war among my people, setting up the climate for the blood to run. The blood have to run for the base to feast. Oh, it's the nature of the beast. Nature of the beast. Shedding the blood of my people. Sucking the blood of my people. Shedding the blood of my people. Sucking the blood of my people. The blood. Blood of my people. The blood. I cry. The blood. Blood of my people, the blood. The blood. Blood of my people, the blood. The blood. Blood of my people, the blood. They are shedding the blood of my people. They are sucking the blood of my people. They are shedding the blood of my people. They are sucking the blood of my people. No more shedding the blood of my people. No more sucking the blood of my people. No more shedding the blood of my people. No more sucking the blood of my people. No more, no more. Our blood will shed no more. No more, no more. Our blood will shed no more. The mouths of the wise teach knowledge, but the lips of the fool talketh foolishness.